Hello, my name is Paul Conterio, and welcome to another Zonal OCR webinar. Thank you for being here. Over the past 10 years with eFileCabinet, I have conducted over 1,000 trainings and webinars, yet I have never been more excited than I am today with what I'm about to share. It's amazing for me to watch and experience how technology continues to advance and change our lives for the better. Electronic document management software is dynamic. It's ever-changing. Zonal OCR is one of its latest jewels, providing tremendous benefits never before seen. So let's take a look. First, however, each of you have been muted, and you may ask questions using the control panel to the right. 2 weeks ago, I conducted a webinar just for tax professionals, and I asked this question: how much do you know about Zonal OCR? And I gave them 3 responses to choose from. First, nothing. Second, a little. And third, a lot. And I was really surprised at the answer. Over 100 of them responded. 81% said nothing. I thought, wow. 16% a little, and 1% a lot. Also, during the webinar, I was asked the question as to how Zonal OCR differs from OCR. So I thought the best way to demonstrate and explain it is to do it side by side. So here are 2 documents, OCR and Zonal OCR. On the left here, I think most of you know that OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition. If optical character recognition has been applied to a PDF document, then the characters found within that document are searchable. So for example, if I were to search for the word Gildersleeve here, then I would be able to see everywhere in that PDF where the word Gildersleeve exists. Now with Zonal OCR, I'll take a standard document. For example, here's a 1040. And I'll identify the fields that I wish to be able to pull information from, as you can see here. And so what uniquely identifies this 1040 will be the information placed in this document. So then this information that you see placed in here, I've created a profile inside eFileCabinet called Investment Clients. And the profile fields that I created in this profile is the information I want to pull off of this 1040. And so automatically that happens with Zonal OCR. And we're going to spend much time in this area, but I still want to spend a few minutes discussing just OCR, Optical Character Recognition. I'm inside eFileCabinet online, and I'm going to do a search for the word Gildersleeve. Gildersleeve is an old radial character from the 1940s, kind of an obscure word. I'm going to do a full text search, and then these are the files that come up. Here is a document that says no name. I'm going to click on that, and immediately it finds the document, and you can see it highlights the word Gildersleeve inside the document that quickly. Full text search. Now the thing to keep in mind is there's 2 things to look at here. First is eFileCabinet's OCR process finds the files that contain the words, the full text search. So any documents or files that contain the word Gildersleeve will be discovered. And then second, to be able to find the words contained in the files themselves. So let's take a closer look at this. If the file or document, the PDF, had not been OCR'd, then this is all I would be able to see. I would not be able to identify the words within the documents. However, if the document has been OCR'd, then I can identify it, and eFileCabinet will show me the results in the preview window. There are 45 results found in this particular PDF that contain the word Gildersleeve. So let's take a look then. 2 things. First, finding documents that contain a certain word. Now eFileCabinet, the software, allows us to do that. The OCR engine within eFileCabinet will find all the documents that contain that certain word or words. Then second, finding the words contained in the document. Again, as I mentioned, that is a process of the OCR creator and editor. We use Foxit Phantom Many of you may use Adobe Professional or Standard. That will work also. So let's look a little closer at this. Okay, on my desktop I have two PDF documents. One that has gone through the OCR process and the other which has not. So let me open up the first one, and you can see again here's the Great Gildersleeve, and this one has gone through the OCR process. There are 5 pages to this document, and you can see them here. So the reason I know this has gone through the OCR process is if I come up to the View tab and I am inside Foxit Phantom and go down to the text viewer, I can see that the layer that was created when it went through the OCR process is there. And if I go to any of the pages, you'll see that each page has a layer now that shows the characters from the document. So let me click on text viewer again, and you can see what you and I see when we look at the document. Now looking at this line of text, the Great Gildersleeve, 1941 to 1957. So right here, I'm going to show you as I come up to the text viewer. This is the same information in the layer that was created when it went through the OCR process. And it's from this layer then that is indexed, and we can now search for words within the document. So let me close this. And I'm going to the other document that has not gone through the OCR process. Okay, I scan this document in. It's the same document in terms of information, same 5 pages. However, when I come up to the View tab and go to the text viewer, you'll see it's blank. And that's because it has not gone through the OCR process. Now within the Foxit Phantom software, if I click this button here, it will process this one document and it will become searchable. And then there will be a text layer that you could see. So I'm going to close this document. Now these two files, I have already uploaded a copy into eFileCabinet online, and we're going to take a look at that next. All right, I've logged back into eFileCabinet online. I'm going to do a search here again for Gildersleeve, and I'll type his name in here. Now if I pulled it up down here and did a full text search for Gildersleeve, I could do that too, and that would just bring up the documents that have the word Gildersleeve inside. But what I'm going to do is a full text search with a normal search, and it'll bring up everything plus the documents that have the word Gildersleeve inside. And so you can see what's appeared. There is a drawer with the word Gildersleeve in the name. There is a document with the Gildersleeve name in the name of the document. There's a no name, movie JPEG, no name. Now this is one of the 2 documents here of the PDFs. This is the document that has not been OCR'd. This is the one that has, and this is a Word document. So if I click on the Word document, you'll see very quickly that there's the word Gildersleeve. It found it right away. Now if I come up here where it says no name, movie JPEG, obviously it's not finding the word Gildersleeve in the name. And when I pull it up here, it's really not finding it here. I'll show you where it found the word Gildersleeve, and that is in the profile information. So when I created a profile, I created an old movies profile, and there's the name, the Great Gildersleeve. So that's where it found the name Gildersleeve to pull it in here in the results section. Let's go down to no name yes, meaning this one has been OCR'd. So let's just close that here. And you'll see immediately the areas, the name Gildersleeve is identified throughout the document. And there's 45 results, and I can come down and drill anywhere within that document. So 2 things have happened here. One, eFileCabinet OCR has found the document with the name Gildersleeve on the inside and any other document, and it's also because this particular PDF document went through the OCR process individually, I can find the words within the document. Now here's the other PDF I showed you that was not put through the OCR process. So let's take a look at that. You'll see right away that it says this document does not contain searchable text. So yes, eFileCabinet found the document, but no, I cannot drill down into this document and see where the name Gildersleeve exists other than maybe eyeballing it. I could pull this out and have it go through the OCR process using Foxit Phantom if I wanted to, and then put it back in. All right, let's move on. We're now going to get into the main purpose of this webinar, and that is to discuss Zonal OCR. So first we're going to talk about the benefits of Zonal OCR, and then we're going to have a brief overview as to the eFileCabinet Zonal OCR features, and then we'll conclude with demonstrations of Zonal OCR. So what are the benefits of Zonal OCR? Zonal OCR allows you to automatically store files in correct locations as it captures all relevant metadata. Plus, eFileCabinet then uses this metadata to automatically create drawers and folders where they do not already exist. So let's do an outline. Let's outline these benefits. First, no more manual data entry. Number 2, automatically creates drawer and folder structures. Number 3, automatically store files. Number 4, automatically captures the metadata or profile information. 5, less typos, less human errors. 6, saves time and money. So let me demonstrate this. Some of you might have already seen this, but let's say somebody comes into your office, has a document, and in this case it's Josephine Bruin. She brings in her W-2. What do you do with that today? Well, you take that physical document and you capture the information off of it by typing it into your accounting software or whatever software program you're using. Okay, this is what we call data entry. It's redundancy. Many businesses spend too much time doing on a regular basis manually entering form data into electronic systems over and over again. Who likes this? Nobody likes doing this. If there's one way to fail to automate redundant processes, this is probably it. Until now. Now all you have to do is scan a document into the Zonal OCR system. And so you take that same document again, and now what you do ahead of time is you're able to identify the fields in a standard document that are important to you. So the document is the same. It's the information in the document that's different, that uniquely identifies the individual that you're trying to capture that information from. So now all you have to do is scan a document, and as that document is scanned, automatically that information is pulled off field by field. You now create a PDF as you scan it, and automatically that information is brought from the scanning process or the electronic document brought in as such, automatically brings in that information into the profile fields of eFileCabinet. So now you've captured it. So recapping, you take a physical document. It's either a physical document when it starts or is an electronic document as you bring it in. You scan that document in one case, and that document from that scan will bring that profile information in and fill those fields out instantly. The other huge benefit, and this is tremendous, if the drawer does not already exist, eFileCabinet Zonal OCR will recognize that and will automatically create the drawer for the new client and the folder structure for the new client while bringing in the metadata, as you see in the center there, also bringing in the document itself. So no longer do you have to worry about manual data entry with eFileCabinet Zonal OCR. So that's the tremendous and huge benefits of this software. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the brief overview of the features of eFileCabinet Zonal OCR. And then there are the forms. There are so many different kinds of forms in different industries. And just in the tax industry, as of 2015, the Internal Revenue Service website contains over 800 tax forms for taxpayers to view, download, or print. There are also countless numbers of other forms, application forms, for mortgages, for employment, for rental, for business applications. Then there's insurance forms, and there's thousands of different legal forms out there. And so it all starts with eFileCabinet by having a template identifying a form that's a standard document. A blank form we call a template. And then in a template, all templates have something in common, and that is the fields which uniquely identify the individuals. As you can see here, you can decide what fields that are important. Now, investment clients is one of the profiles I created inside eFileCabinet. Notice the fields in this profile match exactly the information I wish to capture from the 1040. A document matching the template containing information in the fields is called a form. Here's George Washington's 1040. Here's Abraham Lincoln's 1040. Here's Andrew Jackson's 1040. Seen here is a medical prescription template. The fields I wish to fill out is the DEA, Drug Enforcement Administration number. This identifies the medical professional who's filling out this prescription. I want the patient's name, the date prescribed, patient's address, date of birth, the information that might be here, the notes from the doctor, and then substitute permissions and do not substitute. So this is my template. I also have created a prescription profile inside eFileCabinet to match the fields of information I wish to capture off of each patient's prescription. So here is a form of one patient for Rudy. Here's another form for Charlie Chan. Confidence levels is one of the most important features of eFileCabinet Zonal OCR. There are two areas to look at. First is the form identification confidence. eFileCabinet Zonal OCR is intelligent enough to recognize one form from another, and you can place multiple different kinds of forms into eFileCabinet Zonal OCR, and the software will be able to distinguish one from the other. The second is field OCR confidence, so that the information in the document or file itself, that we're confident that that is correct. So let's take a look. Okay, here are two different tax forms, W-2 and a 1040. Now eFileCabinet can recognize the difference between one or the other and identify in a drop-down a confidence level. And so you can set that at a certain level, and then that helps you as the software with you scrutinizes to make sure that this is correct. Okay, the second area is the field confidence level. So the information that goes into the form and the characters that go in there, some of the document characters are crystal clear. Some have letters that are poorly copied or scanned that are fuzzy or are not easily identified. And so you're able to set a confidence level ahead of time, and then the software will be able to scrutinize that to make sure that it is correct. So to make sure that the information taken off the form is as accurate as possible as it goes into the software. Okay, this is one of the most exciting new features of eFileCabinet Zonal OCR, and that is being able to identify the information in a barcode and place it in the profile fields of eFileCabinet. Here's an example of another template, property management agreement. And from here, I want to capture the information for the owner, the manager's name, the rental address, city, state, zip code, start date, end date, and in the barcode to be able to capture the information off of this. If you have a QR code reader on your phone, you'd be able to read this, and this is the information contained in that barcode. Kylan Smith, real estate agent, and the phone number. So here is a form that we're going to look at with that information, and I have also created a profile, a property management agreement profile, so that the information off of this particular form will be able to be placed into the profile automatically, as you can see here. And then also, again, as I mentioned, information hidden in that barcode will automatically be revealed and placed into the profile information of eFileCabinet. Adding forms. There are 4 ways to add forms using eFileCabinet Zonal OCR. Okay, the first way is just simply going up inside Zonal OCR. There's an Add Files button. By clicking that, it opens up a window into the computer you're sitting on. You simply navigate to the form you wish to add. You click on it, you open it, and there it is that quickly inside eFileCabinet Zonal OCR. The second way is to use the eFileCabinet Zonal OCR printer. So if you have a document or a form, this is one I've brought on my desktop. I open it up, I go up to File, I go down to Print, and one of the choices I now have is eFileCabinet Zonal OCR printer. And so if I'm using Lacert and I need to print, I can print right from Lacert into the eFileCabinet Zonal OCR printer and be able to put that document into eFileCabinet. Now, if you're using a Microsoft document or file like Microsoft Word, you can again have the drop down to find the eFileCabinet Zonal OCR printer. Okay, inside eFileCabinet Zonal OCR, there's also a setting that allows you to print the document at the same time. So again, if you're in Lacert and you print to eFileCabinet Zonal OCR printer and have that document stored inside eFileCabinet, if you check this feature here, it will also automatically print you a hard copy in one step. The next way, the third way, is to scan and send to Zonal OCR. And so this is the eFileCabinet scanning dashboard. So I would simply scan the document, and then in my storage choice, there would be a send to Zonal OCR, and it's that simple. And then the final way is the watched folder. This is a Windows folder that you can choose and name. Anything that goes into that Windows folder will automatically be stored into eFileCabinet Zonal OCR. And you can have different kinds of forms. And again, remember the confidence level eFileCabinet will be able to distinguish one form from the other. And so in setting up where you want to set that under the settings inside eFileCabinet Zonal OCR, there's a place Enable Watched Folders check, and so you can navigate to the folder you wish to use, the Windows folder, to make that your watched folder. Okay, it's time to get into the software itself so I can show you a couple scenarios demonstrating the tremendous benefits of eFileCabinet Zonal OCR. All right, I'm going to start by demonstrating this fantastic new product, Zonal OCR, by opening this property management PDF. And you can see that this form has their fields are filled out, the owner, the manager's name, the city of Gilbert, Arizona. There's a barcode here with information in it, so you can see this is here. And I'm going to close this and come back to it in a second. I'm now going to show you eFileCabinet. So here's eFileCabinet. One of the cabinets I have is property management. I've also made it one of my cabinets so that it will be by itself easier to see. Now notice each of these drawers here represent different locations and different properties. Now Gilbert, Arizona doesn't exist yet. This is a new piece of property. You do not see it here. But the Zonal OCR will process that, will create a drawer, will create a folder that I've set up ahead of time automatically and put the document in there. So let me show you how that works. I'm going to bring in Zonal OCR right now. Okay, and I'm just going to use the Add File button. And this opens a window into the computer I'm sitting on. There's the property management document. I open it. Now it is inside Zonal OCR. And the next thing I'm going to do is simply process this. Now I could have brought multiple forms in. They could be different forms. I could process all of them, and Zonal OCR is intelligent enough to move the correct documents to the correct locations. But I just have this one right here. And so I'm going to let this process. It's going to bring it in. Now what it's going to do, it's going to compare that document and make sure it's the right form to the template. It's also going to look and make sure that the fields are correct. And you can see here as it's come up, you can see here's the information. It's pulled off of that, and this is the fields. You can see the dates here, all the information that was pulled off at a 97% confidence level. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this, and this now has been saved successfully. So let's move this over and take a peek inside eFileCabinet really quick. Notice that the Gilbert drawer does not exist yet. Let me refresh and you'll see it should pop up. There it is, Gilbert Properties. There's the folder that it created. The document now is stored automatically inside eFileCabinet, and there is the profile information. Agent, Kylene Smith, Real Estate. It read also the barcode. So it's smart enough to read bar tools and actually populate information in the profiles if you desire to do that. Now, as you look in some of the other drawers here, you know there's additional folders. So I can simply right-click on this and apply a template for the property management template, and then hit apply. And now you can see Gilbert Property has all the folders it needs and has that one document in there. Now, if I were to bring that document in again, or another one for this Gilbert Properties, it will not create a new drawer or a new folder. It will recognize those already exist and then simply bring the document in. All right, I'm now going to demonstrate Zonal OCR by using 4 documents and bringing them into the watched folder. So this first document is a PDF of George Washington's 1040. The second one is a PDF of Abraham Lincoln's 1040. And the third one is President Andrew Jackson's 1040. The fourth document is a prescription document for Charlie Chan. And all this information, the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration number for the doctor, is there. Take in the morning with food. You'll see all this information being pulled off of these documents and placed in the profile information of eFileCabinet. Now let me bring in eFileCabinet and show you what I'm going to do. There are 2 cabinets here, one for clients. These drawers represent different pretend clients. One of them is Andrew Jackson. Now, Abraham Lincoln and George Washington do not exist yet, but they will be created off of those documents. Now, when I go into Andrew Jackson's drawer, you can see there's a 2016 folder, a tax return folder, and federal, and that's empty. So what will happen here is the software is smart enough, it will see from that PDF that the drawer name in the fields already exists. It will not create any of these folders. They're already there. It will simply place the document here and capture the profile information. However, it will create an Abraham Lincoln drawer and a George Washington's drawer. The second one is patients. Now you can see here there is no Charlie Chan drawer because he's not a patient yet. And so it will create a Charlie Chan drawer and create the folder structure and bring that document in, and then the profile information will follow. So I'll bring in now Zonal OCR. And so I'm going to move these documents into this watched folder. So let's take a look at that. So how do you create a watched folder? Very simple. I browse to my computer. This opens up a window into the computer I'm sitting on. And I simply click on a Windows folder, which I can name anything. And I simply name this a watched folder. So what I'm going to do now is open up this watched folder. You can see this Windows folder is empty. And I'm simply going to bring all 4 of these documents in. This would work the same way if I had one scan of 4 different documents. It would still recognize each one as different. And so now as I look in there, all 4 documents are in that Windows folder. I'll click the Save button. And now it's looking at each of those documents individually, recognizing the document, the form I should say, to the proper template as it stores these documents. So each one it's going to look at. First one is saved successfully. Now Lincoln is being processed in the same way. Again, the software is looking at the document, the form, to make sure it's the right template and make sure that the fields are correct. Now we're doing Washington, and the same thing is happening with the Washington PDF, the 1040. It's looking at each of those fields and identifying those that I've set up. And now here's the prescription for Charlie Chan. and it's going to recognize that this is an entirely different form from a different template. Okay, so that has been successfully saved. I'm going to come over here to the forms, and you can see all of them are now here, and I can look at each of them. 98% confidence level for Jackson. I can make sure those fields are correct, and I can look at each of them if I would like to. There's Lincoln, there's Washington. Now notice that the fields are different for a prescription. That's a different template. And so I'm simply going to process all of them. Okay, let me bring this over and bring inside eFileCabinet and see what has happened here. And you can see as I come in here to the clients cabinet, let's refresh. And you notice now Lincoln's drawer is there. Abraham Lincoln's drawer has been created. And there is the document with the proper profile information. George Washington's drawer has also been created automatically. And you can see too that the document is inside eFileCabinet safely with the correct profile information. And then Andrew Jackson we can take a look at, and you can see that there is that document there. Andrew Jackson's document is now saved inside eFileCabinet. Let's look in the other drawer and see what has happened with Charlie Chan. I'll need to refresh that. You'll see Charlie Chan's drawer appear after I do that. There's Charlie Chan's drawer. There is the prescription, and there you can see the information that has come off of the information here. So if I do a search right now, if I did a search take in the morning with food, up here it would bring me to this particular document or anything else I search for within the profile items that you see here. So this is a fantastic product that can save a lot of time and energy and money by using Zonal OCR. Okay, that concludes this webinar. Thanks so much for attending. I hope you can see in some small way why I'm so excited about eFileCabinet's Zonal OCR. If you have any additional questions, please email us at webinars@efilecabinet.com or call us at 877-574-5505. Thanks again and have a great day.